Alright, so we're going to go to the rack M. We're going to look for rack 2. Rack 2 is right here. R22, still R22. Rack 2, M2, rack 2. There's our circuit, 2B. So we're not going to shut it off right now. We're just going to go ahead and look for the circuit on the header in the back. Because if we shut this off right now, it's going to shut our solenoid off, but we want to pump down the circuit so we can go ahead and change the coil out and the fluid form. So I'm going to walk in the back. Alright, so we found our circuit 2B right there. That's my suction, and then that's my liquid line. So we're going to use my gauges here. That's a 557. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take these Schrader cores out on both of them. We're going to close off the liquid line first to stop the liquid from going into our case and start pumping, taking the process of pumping it down. So right now I have another guy working with me, and he's going to be my pair of hands. Okay, we're shutting it down. And then so we're going to leave that there, and we're going to start taking off the Schraders, and we're going to be taking out the Schrader cord. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and hook up our Schrader core removers and take out the Schraders. And the reason why I'm doing this is to help speed up the process of pumping down the rack or the circuit. So we're going to go ahead and put one in there, take that one out, and then we got a second one we're going to put in the liquid line and take that out. So once we take that out, I'll show you the end result. Alright, let's see. There it is. Okay, so we got one out. And what I usually do is I throw those away because we're no longer going to be putting the old one back in. You always want to put a fresh core back in when you're done changing them out. So we're going to go with the liquid line now. Back and try again. Alright, we're going to try this again and see if we did it. Still nothing. Okay, we think we got it this time. Here we go. There it is. Okay. So now what we're going to do is throw that one out too. Then we're going to hook up our gauges to, doesn't matter if it's on the high or the low side. All we're going to do is use the gauges to transfer the liquid into the suction to help speed up the process. Okay, now that we got both of them hooked on, what we're going to do is make sure that these are closed on both sides, and then these are closed too because they're not hooked up. You're going to go ahead and open these up on both sides. You're going to first open your suction, open up this line, and then you're going to open up this one, and then you're going to purge out your hose on the liquid side to get all the non-condensables out, get all the air out. There you go. Close it up. So now we know for sure there's no more air in here. So now we have this closed still. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up, and we're going to go ahead and watch the gas go through the, let me see, you can't see it. Yeah, there it goes. You can see it splashing around. That's the liquid in there. And that just helps speed up the process of pumping down the system. So once we get closer, we'll go ahead and use the gauges and the compressor to show you how to get it down to 0 instead of recovering or pulling the vacuum. out of this system. We'll use the compressors as our recovery. Alright, so now we've got the pressure at 54 psi. All our liquid is gone. It's just vapor now. But we're going to see what the rack pressure is to make sure that we are all the way as low as we can get just by the compressors running by themselves. So right now we're going to go to the controller to see what our rack pressure is right now. And we're going to look for a plus 20 suction group. That's what this one is. Alright, so now we're at the controller. We know that this is our system 2. So we're going to go ahead and go into the controller and look for our suction group. So we want to go to menu, and then we want to go to suction group right. On this one it's different. So this one we're going to go to configuration, and hit enter, and then we go to suction group on the top. And then you find LMP2, which is our number 2. Go into that. So right now we got 2 compressors running and 2 compressors off. Our suction is 53, so we're about where we need to be. So now what we're going to do is you go back to the rack and use the compressors to help get this down to 0. I'll show you how to do that. So we're in the back of the header now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to close all the suction lines down. All the suction lines down to isolate just that one system. So by us closing each suction line off for each system, now we're just concentrating the compressors pumping just in the header itself and just that one system. So once we close all these down, all the way down the line, then the compressors will just be concentrating on this one that we're working on. And that's how we're going to get it to 0. So I'll come back right now once we close them all. Alright, so now that we got all of them down, closed, except for the one we're working on, all our compressors shut off on low pressure. So we're going to go around to the other side and we're going to force the compressors on, so the compressors will concentrate on pulling from this circuit only. And that's how we're going to get it to 0. So I'm going to need to grab my gauges. That way I can see what my pressure is, and I'm going to feed it through this side and look at them. Alright, so what we found out is that our compressor shut off at the controller, so we're going to force them on. We're going to force our 20 horse on first. Well, that way we can get a better suction out of it. So go ahead and highlight that. Hit enter. Go to we gotta log in. Alright, now that we logged in, go ahead and go to enter, go to override, hit enter. Okay, now you're gonna go to hit yes, Y for yes, go all the way down and hit on. Type in on. Alright. Type in on. There you go. And hit enter. Okay, that forces that compressor on. So now it just turned on. So we're going to walk over there and check it out. Alright, so we forced this compressor on right here. So this one is running right now. And right now it is pumping down. So we're going to let it do this for a while because the lines are cold and it's filling, getting a little bit more liquid in that's trapped down there. So we're going to let it run for a while. Try to get all the liquid boiled off out of that system. It's going pretty good. And as we get closer to 0, I'll go ahead and finish recording this. Alright, so we got it down to about 4 psi. We're going to shut it off around 2 because we don't want to get 0. We might be pulling a vacuum and we're not 100% sure. So once it gets to 2, we're going to go around to the other side and close off the ball valve. Alright, so now we're at 2 psi. It's going to go ahead and close that off right now. Okay, we're closed. So now we're going to go ahead and open the rest of them up because we got this down. Hold on a second. Not yet, because look at this. We're starting to rise. And the reason why we're rising is because we might have some liquid still in the system that boils off. So we're just gonna let it linger for a little bit, see how high it rises, and then we'll open this up back up again. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead and open up a couple of them just so that it won't be in a vacuum. All right, so right now this is regulating, and you want to bypass this wide open to help the process, because you don't want this holding back anything. To do that, you unscrew this right here, and this is just a cap. So go ahead and unscrew that, and then underneath that is a screwdriver head, so you can put a screwdriver on there to open it up. So there's the screwdriver head right there. So one side, you can't see it, but one side says auto, which is probably like right here, and this side says open. So he's gonna, right now it's on auto, so he's gonna screw it in. Wait, hold on. Screw it out, and then and it's gonna come to a stop. Don't unscrew it all the way, because all kinds of gas will spew out. So you're gonna unscrew it until it stops, and then that'll manually wide open this whole valve up. That way there'll be no restriction. And this process should have been done before you started pumping it down, because it just helps it out. But I just want to show you how it's done. Okay, so then now it's wide open. So now there's no, it's not metering this at all. It's not regulating this at all. But we can't forget to close it, put it back in auto when we're done with this whole system. Or else it'll never go into defrost. That's the whole point. All right, let's see where we're at on our pressure. So it looks like it stopped at 7 psi. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to close this one back down, because we only opened 2 up. Close this one, and then we're going to reopen this one to pump it down some more. All right, now that he closed both of those, he's going to open this one up. All right, now this pressure is dropping. Once it gets to 2, then we're going to close it. So now we're going to close it. All right, now that we got it to 2, because I didn't want to put it in a vacuum, that way in case, we still got a leak. So I didn't want to suck any non-condensables in there. So what we're going to do is leave it at 2 psi, and then we're going to open the lines up, unscrew the lines on both sides. We'll close it first. And then we'll just let the gas, just 2 pounds come out, and then we're good. Very, very little in there. And then that's it. Then we go down to the case, and we can cut the coil out and start putting it in. So we are done here. We opened up all our valves back, everything. This is closed, open, all the way down the line. Now we're going to go ahead and take that compressor, put it back into manual mode or auto mode, so the rack can run normal. So now we're going to go ahead and take this off of override. But go back real quick. Notice how it's highlighted in blue. That's to let you know that we overrid it. Anything on an E2, you put it in blue, somebody overrid that. It's just a note on that. So go ahead and we're going to take it out of override. Alright, now that we got it off of override, the rack is running normal now. Back up to 44 psi. Alright, let's go back down to the case and take that coil apart. Alright, we had our produce guy pull our case. This case is a Hussman case, and this coil is on the back wall. So we had him take all this crap out here, both sides, unplug our fan. So we're going to take this back wall. And how to take this back wall off, I'll show you right now. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take it off now. We're going to lift up from the bottom, straight up. We're going to bring it forward, and then now it's off. So there it is. So in order to take this off, this coil's leaking in here. It's famous for these type of coils to be leaking in this corner. So we're going to place this whole coil. So you got to take these off here,
screw here, and there's a screw like hidden away in here. We'll take that off. We're gonna take these covers off and the one over there off, and then we're gonna take those screws off, and then I'll show you the rest how it looks inside. Yeah, that little screw is way in there. Got this one off here. That one's a bitch. So good luck. All right, took them all both off. Now in here, way back here, there's this bracket that goes across the back and just holds the coil in. So we're gonna take off those brackets. I believe there's 4 brackets, 2 on each side. So we're gonna do that now. And then we'll worry about taking those brackets off. That comes off with the coil. So we're just gonna take all the screws off first and pull then we're gonna cut the coil out. Usually I like to cut it here and cut it here. And it's gonna take the whole piece out. And then we're gonna take it in the back and do all our welding back there. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and cut the lines on your liquid and on your suction. And then we're gonna drag the coil out. Alright, now that we got it loosened up, we're gonna go ahead and take the whole coil off. So this all one piece is gonna come out. So grab that side. We're gonna just go ahead and lift it up. Hold on, there we go. Watch the bottom there. There we go. Okay, all coming out. Okay, there's our new coil through Hussmann. And right now we're gonna unwrap it. Then we're gonna swap out all this because it's gonna make it harder if we do it in the case. So it makes it a lot easier because these are really tight back there. So it makes it way easier for us to sweat everything back in. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and sweat these off right now. There you go. By the way, those are not his torches, those are mine. So. Okay, now sometimes these carry oil in them, so you get a little bit of a flame pop when they come out. Those are in there quite a bit. You might have to pull a little bit on those. It doesn't matter if he overheats it. Remember, this is old. There we go. Alright, we got them all off now. Alrighty. Let it wrap each an individual because we're going from copper to aluminum. There's epoxy in the middle. We don't want to burn it. So we're going to be very careful in welding these. We had little issues with these right here on the old one, pulling them out, so we had to make some. So it's coming out pretty good. Had to cut that, put a coupling there. So we're going to go ahead and weld it all together. Alright, finally finished here. Got the welds, each one. This is the one we made, the coupling. on the last one here. Got that one. We had to swedge this one, or actually make a coupling on this one, because I don't have that. And then this one, we're ready to rock. Alright, we're gonna go put it in now. That was the hard part. Screwing those aluminum brackets into the back. I don't know if you can see it way back there, but it's right back there. So now we're gonna connect our short pipes together. So we just gotta stretch it a little bit. We'll get it. Alright. Got everything connected. Now we just gotta weld those together. Then we will pressurize it, check for leaks, and get it running. Alright, got it all welded up. Gonna go ahead and pressurize it and soap bubble it. Okay, we're back at the rack. We're gonna go ahead and pressurize the line. So we're gonna go ahead and close this line, and then we're gonna open up the suction. And the reason why I do this is because I want vapor to go through my entire line and then come out my liquid side. That way, if I open up my liquid, I have liquid through my entire line, and then if I have a leak, I have to pump out the liquid. That's the only reason why I do it this way. So right now we're gonna crack it open until we feel a vapor coming out, and we're gonna give it a couple of seconds before we close it. And you can open that all the way if you want, because you got rack pressure. And then once it starts coming out, then go ahead and close it. Alright, so now we got pressure in the line. And it's about 50 pounds of pressure when we pumped it down the original time. So that's how much refrigerant we got in the lines. Vapor. So we're going to go downstairs and pressure check now. So now we're just leak checking with the big blue soap bubbles on all our welds. Hopefully we don't have any. Cross our fingers. Alright, no leaks. We're in good shape. So, one evaporator coil installed. So now we're going to go ahead and start up the system. Got these two side covers on. Now we're going to put the black cover over it. So it just snaps together. Alright, there's the case all back together. Now we just got to start it up and we're done. Alright, we're going to be putting in new Schrader cores. So every time, new Schrader cores. And then we're going to go ahead and put one in there, put one in here, and open it up. No leaks. Alright, going to put the caps on now, and then we're going to open this up, because remember we bypassed it, so we're going to go ahead and put it back into auto, and put the cap on. Opening up the liquid line, and we are off. Energized. Alright guys, that is it. We are done for the night. Long day. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next service call.